Hi there. This is a short video about Radio User Magazine, the October edition. The editor, George, who's a very nice chap, he and I have something in common in that he is also a big fan of low-cost DXing, or shortwave listening with modest equipment. And he asked me to write another article for him on that very subject. So I did that, and it appears in the October edition. If you look on the front cover, you can see an image of my PL360, PL310ET, and the superb XH Data D808 radios that most of you will know appeared on my YouTube channel at one point or another. This was interesting for me because I was able to approach this article from the point of view of actual experience, because DXing with modest equipment is something that I do regularly and still do, probably less so now, but that's mainly due to work constraints, finding the time to get out for a few hours. You know, I'm kind of forced to be at home, and that's really why I bought the Wellbrook Loop a couple of years ago. But nevertheless, I think there's interest in this because, you know, for a newbie to the hobby, you know, who's going to want to go out and spend hundreds or thousands of pounds on equipment without having really sort of tried the hobby first? So it's kind of important, I think, from people, you know, getting into the hobby. So there you go, there's my PL360. So what I decided to do was write the article on the basis of what you can expect to hear against how much money you've got to spend. So less can be more, low-cost shortwave DXing. And that's actually a picture of the stack of kit in my shack in Oxford. The Yaesu FRG 7700, 8800, Perseus SDR, the ICOM ICR70, the ELAD FDM Duo. You can also see the E1 there that is no more, and behind it my Hacker Super Sovereign, and then on the other side there's a lot of other equipment you can't see. Added to this now, of course, is the fact that I've now got an ICOM IC756 transceiver, and I've also got a JRC NRD525, which has made a very recent appearance on the channel. So there's a pile of stuff that, all told, cost thousands of pounds. And so the article basically kind of describes how much money you've got to spend, what you're likely to hear. So I've started at under 10 quid. And for under 10 quid, well, for £8 exactly, you can buy the Tesco Rad 108, still available. I saw it on the shelves there the other day for 8 quid. And for 8 quid, you have an analog radio, which it's more difficult to use because you don't know exactly what frequency you're listening to. It actually forces you to listen, which is actually a good thing. You know, I've copied North Korea on that radio, you know, so for 8 quid, you know, you can't ask for much better than that. But if you get into the hobby, you know, and you're going to be serious about it, you know, you need a digital radio. And so the article then goes on to explain, you know, what you can hear with the PL360, and that was the first radio I started using when I re-engaged in the hobby 3 years ago. Copied a lot of good stuff on it. The PL310ET, which Tom Brogan recommended to me, superb little radio for under £40. And there's actually a list in the article about that kind of demonstrates what you can hear with the PL310ET, and the top of the list is ABC Northern Territories. Obviously they are no more, but as an indication of how good that little radio is. And then it goes on to the XH Data D808, which I paid £60, which I think is now about £80. And you know, we all know how good that radio is. A lot of us have got that radio now. Its performance is, for me, it's as good as the Eaton Satellite, which is the same or similar to the Texan PL880. I mean, it's right up there with the best portables you can buy. It might even be the best portable for 80 quid. So add into the mix, you know, some wire, a few connectors, you know, for 100 quid, you know, you can buy yourself a setup that's going to be capable of copying some really, really nice DX. And probably, all told, going to get you better results when propagation's good than a pile of kit such that I've got back in Oxford, that's going to cost you potentially thousands of pounds, and so that's what we wanted to demonstrate with the article, and that's what we've done. So I think that the article, for me, useful to people who've been involved with the hobby for many years, who are sort of struggling with local QRM. It's a nightmare for me. Buy a portable or take your portable with some wire and get outside. Your results will be much, much better than they will be at home. The expeditions are probably more relevant today than they ever have been, because there are so many devices in the home now that generate a load of crud that reduce your signal to noise, because the noise floor, instead of being minus 120, minus 130 dBs, at my place it can be as high as 100 dBs, and then you're really struggling for modulation on anything that's not very strong. Getting out and about, it's the cheapest way to seriously improve the signal to noise of the signals you're listening to without spending basically any money, and that's kind of the point of the article, is to get out there, and just take a simple, cheap setup, and you'd be amazed at the results. With the D808, we're looking at KCBS Pyongyang. I mean, Radio 9 de Julio, Sao Paulo, Radio Paracida, Radio Club de Para, Radio Cultural Amatua, Huanta, Peru. I mean, just read the article and look at the list. I mean, these are stations, some of which are very, very difficult to hear at home. Most of the time you won't even see a carrier, but you take one of these radios out on a DXpedition in the early hours and you're gonna hear some of this stuff. So it's been my philosophy, so and I recommend it to anybody. So that's my article in the October edition of Radio User. There's a lot of other good stuff in here. There's a very good article on digital radio. There's also another article on SDR, software-defined radio, how to select the right SDR for you, because they vary wildly in price. And then there's the usual stuff on utility monitoring, long, medium and short with Chrissy, Broadcast Matters. It's a great magazine, and it's the magazine that it kind of supports our hobby, so we should support it. I get it every month, and I hope that as many of you can do the same. So anyway, that's the video review of my article. The phone's just started ringing, so I'm going to stop recording now, but anyway, all the best, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. 73.